one amazing series of YA novels, an insatiable thirst to relive the glory that is K.A. Applegate's literary masterpiece. This is Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. Animorphs number 12, The Reaction.
Hello, and welcome to the Dork-Bajir Chronicles, a Animorph podcast where we read through the Animorph series one book at a time, then talk about it every week. Today we'll be talking about Animorphs number 12, The Reaction. My name is Mikael, the host.
I'm Tessa, the expert.
And I'm Brayden, a slimy little thought that I thought would coalesce by the time I finished the second slimy. But
Brayden,
I don't. Yeah.
Brayden is living proof that, like the book title, like that right underneath the book title. Sorry, let me restart that. Brayden is living proof, just like the reaction book cover says. We can truly trust no one.
Oh my god. Okay, first note, guys. The title and tagline in this one are super relevant to the plot of this book.
I mean, the titles are always relevant. I mean, there's only two words, and one of them is the. So they always have something to do with the book.
Yeah, but they're
either
the
like
tagline never makes any sense.
No. Trust no one. Don't trust. Spoiler alert. Don't trust JJM.
Oh, Jeremy Jason McCole is going to join the sharing? Jeremy Jason McCole? Jeremy Jason McCole?
Yeah.
Spoilers
What if
for later in
it was
this
don't
episode.
trust Rachel?
I think that's what it is. Don't trust no one, not even yourself.
Don't trust a hoe. Never trust a hoe. Don't trust a hoe.
Don't trust me.
Jeremy Jason McCole.
I hate that name so much.
I know.
Jeremy
It's
Jason
really bad.
McCole is joining
It's
the
really
sharing.
bad.
Jeremy Jason McCole? I always love that bit where they're like, wait, what? All the girls freak out. Anyway, Brayden,
Yeah.
stick us with that plot summary.
Yeah. Okay. Hey guys. I don't know what to think about this one. There are two ways to interpret this. Either K.A. Applegate got super interpretive in what she felt storytelling is supposed to be. Or maybe she was just on a bender. I don't know.
It's all a metaphor for a coming of age story.
Yeah. This is another one where like the A plot and B plot are kind of muddied together, and as well a lot is happening, but not really in a cohesive fashion. This is like the third book in a row after 11 Alternamorphs, and now this one that like I really haven't enjoyed. So I don't know.
Really?
Maybe
oh, just wait. Book 13, y'all.
maybe
Book
we're
13.
I
feel
might
like-
just quit Fanimorphs.
No, you can't.
So I have
I feel like the A plot is the allergy thing, and the B plot is the two girls hitting puberty.
Yeah.
No, I feel like the A plot is Jeremy Jason McCole is joining the sharing, you guys, and everyone is super wet. And then the B plot is that Rachel is allergic to crocodiles.
Everyone is super wet. Anyway,
All right, Brandon.
yeah. So we open at the zoo, and the Rachel and Cassie's class is going on a field trip, and Cassie's all worried because her mom's gonna be giving a presentation on endangered species, and Cassie is specifically worried that her mom is gonna mention 9-inch nails, but not 9-inch nails specifically, because you see, there's this story that Cassie wanted a 9-inch nails album, but didn't think her mom would buy her a 9-inch nails album, so told her that the N-I-N on the cover stood for nice is neat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Kids, listen up. Being nice, pretty neat.
Yeah, it's it's not a good bit.
So this is the goof of the book as it starts out.
But then,
But also it talks about how, like, Cassie talks about how her mom doesn't know any of the, like, band, like, the 90s
like,
bands names, like Boys 11 Men.
Snoop Diggity Dog.
I liked Boys 11 Men.
That was a good bit. That was a good bit. Too bad
Yeah,
it was
that was
sandwiched in between nice is neat and and Snoop Diggity Dog.
It's funny because as a kid growing up in the 90s, I didn't listen to any of these bands. Like, I didn't know what any of these were. My first CD was Avril Lavigne's first CD. So, like, I did not listen to music in the 90s.
My first CD was the Toys R Us soundtrack.
The Toys R Us soundtrack?
Fuck. No. Sorry, we were just talking about Toys R Us. The Toy Story soundtrack.
There you go.
They are at the zoo. They're bitching about Cassie's professional mother, just trying to make it in a working world. You know what? Zoology is probably a huge boys' club.
Oh,
Rachel
super
and Cassie
big boys'
are
club.
obviously just being
Whiny little bitches.
Whiny little bitches.
It's hard when you're 12.
Yeah. Anyway, they look down into a crocodile pit, and at just that second, a child falls in like a 9-year-old boy. And immediately, both me and Tessa made a Harambe joke. She has written Harambe Gator. I specifically wrote in my personal notes, Croco Harambe.
Yeah, I said Harambe Gator because one of the big goofs of this book, you guys, is that everybody talks about the crocodiles like alligators, and then they get, no, it's a crocodile, not an alligator. Oh, is it an alligator? No, it's a crocodile.
Yeah.
It's real funny. It's the new Prince Jake.
The newest of
the new Prince Jake.
But we'll get into why that confusion is actually like an explainable confusion later in the Life from the Gardens episode.
Cool. All right, continue with this plot.
So Rachel jumps in to save this kid and morphs into the biggest crocodile there so she can take on the rest and save this kid. She does so, but as she's acquiring the crocodile, it mentions that she feels irritated and her skin reddens.
And she gets a weird thing, like her stomach feels nauseous.
Yeah.
It's probably nothing.
Yeah. But they end up going, once they leave, Jake has a little, chews her out a little, like, oh, you shouldn't have put us in danger like that. People could have seen you. And then everybody's kind of razzing her a bit.
I mean, but it
Cassie's
makes sense.
defending
It's
her.
really, that was bad.
Yeah.
Bad choice, Rachel.
I don't know how anybody didn't see her morph, actually. Did she get under the alligator?
I feel like there wasn't under the crocodile, but I think there was a bit of an overhang. The reason why she didn't see this biggest croc when she first jumped in to save the boy was because he was kind of hiding underneath a walk path.
Yeah.
So she was basically just hiding.
That's fair.
Probably someone saw her, but thanks to the luck of plot, she hasn't been captured by Yerks.
Plus, this is pre-cell phone, pre-video phone.
Pre-video phone, so.
Yeah. But they find out the reason that they are having this meeting is because they find out that some a TV star named Jeremy Jason McCole,
basically inspired by Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know who that is.
I think he
was
on
the
Home
star of
Improvement.
Powerhouse.
Oh, Powerhouse. Never mind.
No, Powerhouse is the fictional one.
Oh yeah, Powerhouse is the fictional one. Yeah, no, I think Jonathan Taylor Thomas was on Home Improvement.
The show Powerhouse is a real show.
What?
What?
Yeah, it's super real. But it came out a long time ago. It came out in 1982.
Ooh.
What?
So
Yeah.
What?
Jeremy Jason McCole is the star and is super hot.
Oh my god.
Powerhouse.
I've been assuming this is a modern series.
No, it was Nickelodeon. It was run in the mid-1980s, and it billed itself as a 16-part series for young people and their families. Which, I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Anyway, there's this hot young thang, and he's on a show called Powerhouse. Apparently he's the son of some comedian, Cassie and Rachel chalk it up as, and he's who's the comedian's the lead character. He's the second fiddle, but he's super hot. And Rachel and Cassie are going goo-goo for him, which just quick interject. I don't think that would be the bit if this was a Cassie book. Like, if this was a Cassie book, the bit would be Rachel's goo-goo over this celeb, and then Cassie is like, I am above it. I am one with the earth.
I feel like Cassie is a little bit goo-goo just because she's fucking 12 years old, and Powerhouse was her sexual awakening. And then she realized that Mother Earth turned her on like nothing else.
Cool.
So, but like, I love how they have to explain that Jeremy Jason McCole joining the sharing is a bad idea because then all these 12-year-old horny girls are going to start joining in droves. And they explain it like Baywatch, where you're like, oh, you know, like basically the star of Baywatch, and all of the boys are like, oh, what? And they list off names. And then Tobias is like, wait, so he's like Yasmin Bleeth hot? And Axe is like, what is a Bleeth? It's so stupid.
I actually really liked that bit.
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. I just also loved Mikael's tired laugh.
I love these kids. Just talking about how much they want to get fucked by celebrities and fuck celebrities, but they're not allowed to say, I want to put my dick in Pamela Anderson.
I mean, also, they don't understand what sex is yet. Like, they just kind of want to touch a boob.
Okay. And, they understand what sex is. Like,
I mean, when did you understand what sex was?
When somebody
when you
told
first
me
had sex on Remembrance Day. That was the very first time. Throwback to episode 1. Anyway, plot. So they go and investigate.
Yeah.
But before they do that, Rachel's at home.
Yeah. So they find out Jeremy Jason McCole is gonna
You're really bad at speaking words.
No, it's a word. It's a word. I'm just looking for is going to sponsor, talk about the sharing as like a group he's part of and really enjoys being part of. So they're like, oh my god, they're gonna get him. We gotta go save his ass. But first, Rachel starts Googling him and shit. That night, starts like Google searching him and like gets kinda, oh, la-di-da, what a hot boy. So
she's definitely using like Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, like some
it's the 90s
proto Google to like search up pictures of this hot boy.
Not pictures, but like when he's gonna be in town.
Yeah, and like pictures as well.
Pictures.
It's
pictures.
I guess it's
you know she sees pictures, and these I don't want to.
She gets a little bit hot bothered.
Yes, which is something we have to say because I swear to God it's relevant later. We're not just describing a 12-year-old girl.
Her face starts to feel flushed and like her heart beats fast.
Yeah.
Jeremy Jason McCole is coming to where I live.
And her fingers turn green and scaly.
You know, what happens when you're 12 years old and you get turned on.
Oh no. And then she realizes she's morphing without thinking about it. She's morphing without
out of control.
And she morphs into a 20-foot gator. And then she morphs... crocodile. And
example of one of the jokes that's in the book.
That's not a joke. This was just a mistake. God damn it. She morphs into the big one, and then she morphs it down to she starts morphing into a bear.
From the gator into a fly.
Which is impossible.
From the gator into a fly. That's not possible. And then from the fly into an elephant. She breaks her house.
And she destroys her home, falls into her kitchen, worries about her sisters being dead, but then like, oh thank God, they both ran off to the washroom or something. And then
she manages to talk herself down and like calm herself down to turn back into human.
And she turns herself back into a human. She goes to the hospital, is all right. Some news crews hear that she fell into a crocodile pit and her house broke in the same day. So they try to like interview her, but she's like having none of it.
Falling girl. She tells Cassie about it because Cassie's like, what the fuck? And she makes Cassie promise not to tell Jake because, like, the mission is to morph.
About this uncontrolled morphing. Not about the fact that her house destroyed.
Like, it's just about the uncontrolled morphing. But she's like, don't tell Jake because the mission is tomorrow. I don't want Jake to get,
Axe.
like, weird.
Of course we'll tell Axe.
No, they don't.
Next morning. No. But they say they will.
Oh, that's true.
But we'll tell Axe, right? Oh, of course we'll tell Axe. They find out Jeremy Jason McCole is on a boat. And
he's on a boat, and he's got his flippy floppies and his Vista 3. So they morph into seagulls. And like Tobias is like super snide about like, oh wait, you finally see the boat? This is the name of the boat. You want to know like what brand of underpants the captain is wearing? And we get it, Tobias. your hawk eyes are super good, and you're jealous that we're morphed birds.
Red-tailed hawks are the bird master race. We get it.
So they fly out to this cruise ship.
Yeah. It's like a big old yacht, and they see Jeremy Jason McCole talking to his producers, some hot lady, and a mysterious man in the shadows.
But they recognize it as Visser 3's human morph.
Not until later.
I mean, they're pretty sure.
Wow, you ruined
They're not.
it, Tessa.
They don't even mention him until he steps out of the shadows.
Oh, right. Fine.
Anyway, so they start eavesdropping on Jeremy Jason McCole, and he turns out he's a bit of a dick. He like talks about not liking being in like programming for young people, and he doesn't like being mobbed by fans, and like he apparently is joining the sharing under dubious circumstances. Clearly, he is next unto Hitler. And this is pretty much how like Rachel is like, he doesn't like being in these TV shows, and he doesn't fully understand the sharing, but wants to join up. This guy's an asshole.
Clearly.
And then Visser 3's human morph steps out of the shadows and is like, I'll give you all the power and money you want, Jeremy Jason McCole. All you have to do is stick your head in a pool.
And Jeremy Jason McCole is like, yeah. So Rachel gets pissed.
Yeah.
The seagulls decide to fly back to land, but Rachel is so mad.
Rachel starts turning into an elephant, and she grows an elephant trunk out of her seagull body.
That's just horrifying.
Yeah. Oh god, yes. The idea is truly traumatizing to me. I did not sleep tonight, and I will not sleep this night, for the vision of the gulliphant will haunt my nightmares and my dreams.
Fans of the podcast, tweet your photos of the gulliphant to Mikael.
No!
We'll share with Brayden.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, so the gulliphant falls into the water, and
everybody is freaking out. Cassie is like, fuck, I didn't tell Axe.
And they see that Visser 3 notices them. And as they have a little panic attacky episode, Rachel is dying on and off, getting a little like it describes that she gets like weird in the head from like air loss, and she like sings a little morphing song.
Oh,
and
what
everyone's
fun
like,
it is to morph today.
What the fuck are you doing, Rachel? Jesus Christ, you're dying. This is the obligatory horror scene.
Yeah,
really
and then
gross.
Visser 3's human morph is morphing into an andalite.
And so they're like, oh fuck, he's gonna morph into something fucked so he can kill us. And there's a brief respite where Rachel morphs into an ant and is stuck in an air bubble and is like, and gets to explain to everybody, okay, here's what's happening. And then they have to, and then does she morph into something? Oh, she morphs into the gator.
Yeah.
Not of her own will, but she morphs into the gator next and stays there. So she's like, well, at least I can swim and hold my breath. Let's run away from whatever Visser 3 is. But then they realize the crocodile can't swim that fast. Whatever Visser 3 is turned into is like a giant sort of like speed manta ray with like
harpoon,
a spike cannon. And they're like,
it's a Lepton javelin fish. Thank you.
This is actually one of the more interesting morphs.
This is a morph minute. This is a morph minute. Three.
Also, it's kind of a double morph minute because he does his human morph too. And you know what I've realized? That I'm pretty sure this is what it looks like. Have you guys ever seen the Hitman video game series?
Yes.
Yeah, it's that guy. It's Agent 43 or whatever his name is.
What? Agent 47.
Brayden just
47. Sorry.
Hot.
Brayden just looked up hot man. Brayden.
Oops.
No, but it's just like this fucking cool, calculated white dude.
Literally, this is exactly who I pictured. Some bald, angry white dude in a suit.
Yeah.
This is
totally.
Yes. Canon now. This is canon. The author is dead, and Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles has decided that this is what Visser 3's human morph looks like.
Definitely. It's just too good. Okay. Like it's too
too good. And then even when he smiles, it still looks evil and unsettling.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So Headcanon.
Cool. That's canon now. Phantomorphs has declared it.
Phantomorphs has
But
declared it.
anyway, the Lepton javelinfish is like this giant-ass, perfectly circular stingray. And it's got like... I had a hard time visualing this one, but like the more I think about it, the cooler it is. It's apparently got rows of like spears along its back that it like rolls into its like wing area, and it like goes into a sort of flap opening in its body, and then it puffs up like a blowfish, and then expels all the gas out the javelin hole, and like. And yeah, it's a big old blowfish that shoots spears. This thing is actually really cool.
It's huge.
I feel like when they were writing these things, especially with the alien monsters, it's like they're looking at a picture of it and being like, "Oh, everyone else can see the picture, right?" So I'll just like briefly describe it.
I mean, you all know what a Lepton javelinfish is, right? It's like a horse. Like you've seen
Right.
it. I don't need to describe it too much.
But it's just a really interesting and cool design for a monster, because not only has this like built-in like superpower and like sort of interesting look to it with like a comparable real life thing, it is like it has a weak point.
Yeah.
It has like a boss weak point, because Rachel plays dead, waits for Visor 3 to swim by, and then when he blows up to shoot a javelin, she snaps him as the crocodile and pops him. And he goes flying off like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon.
And then lands
yelling.
in the ocean with this really wet fart sound.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
all the while yelling in thought speak. Ah!
It's like, nice.
That's now Visor 3's canon voice. I can give you everything you want. Simply stick your head in this pool, Jeremy Jason McCole.
Oh, hello, Alfanger Serenial Chantal. Come to die. Let me morph something big and tasty to eat you.
Andalite bandits, I shall have your hides. I shall cook your friend.
Anyway, so after the mission, they all meet in the barn, and Jake is super mad at Rachel for fucking it up real bad, and they find out that this is called the Harambe-style.
No, Harambe-style is how you get over it. I don't think Axe gives this phenomenon a name.
It's
he just
kind of
says
like
it's an
you're
allergy.
allergic. You're allergic to the DNA.
You are allergic to crocodiles, which Cassie explains is possible, and your very essence is rejecting the crocodile DNA. So
you have to do a Harambe-style.
A Harambe-style, which brings up some interesting ideas to me about what exactly it means to morph, and like where all this matter is coming and going to, because he describes it as it's going to pull a bunch of matter from Z-space into you to morph a crocodile.
It's gonna, because you have to. The whole thing is you have to burp the DNA out. It's called
an
burping
entire
DNA.
crocodile.
The entire crocodile.
A fresh crocodile. You have to make a new one.
Yeah,
That makes sense, though, doesn't it?
just grown out of
Yeah,
it
but it's
totally
like-
does. But it's like, yeah, where does this matter come from? I guess it's just made of Z space
I was
matter.
super being sarcastic. It makes
It's-
no sense. It makes no sense at
you
all.
got me.
But like, I really like the idea. I think like this could be used in future to make some cool things. Like the guy, I guess they couldn't morph it anymore, but like that's something that they could do, is like, if they learn to control this and not just do it when they find, like, you could make an army of animals.
Yeah, it's basically just like summon minor creature
Yeah.
in a Pathfinder D&D, but
Yeah.
it's got to be something that you're allergic to. So super inconvenient. So basically Jake is like, all right, Rachel, you did not access denied. You did not get to meet Jeremy Jason McCole.
Oh, yeah, right. Quick note, I think we forgot to mention, Rachel did those, decided with her dad that what she's gonna get on this one interview show, that Jeremy Jason McCole is gonna be on, ostensibly to get the media off her back and like,
Talk about being the fallen girl.
talk about being the disaster girl, and but it's actually to get to Jeremy Jason McCole and like stop him from endorsing the sharing.
Their backup plan was that Cassie acquired Rachel so that she could be Rachel in case.
She just
Rachel
did that before the shoot. She did that just before the shoot.
Okay. But so really they didn't have any contingency plan. They were just like, all right, Rachel, never mind. You're off the mission. So Rachel lies and says, yeah, I burped a croc in my hotel room. Yep. I'm good to go.
Which nobody questions at all.
Nobody at all. Nobody's like, what'd you do with the whole crocodile?
She does say that she only says it to, like, Marco and Jake as she's passing them into school, and that she doesn't even bother trying to lie to Cassie because she knows that Cassie's too pure. She'll see through me right away with the zone of truth.
With her Mother Earth eyes. Our party cleric.
Our party cleric is gonna zone of truth me with her Mother Earth eyes. Yeah. I can't lie, those Mother Earth eyes.
So they go to the studio and
Marco morphs a llama.
It's so great.
It's the best.
It's the best.
It's the best part of the whole book.
It's the best. Llama better be one of the animals we talk about.
Oh hell
Lord.
Yes.
Oh, it was so great. It was so great. They were just like, stupid llama, and then Marco's voice just, hey, I get no respect.
Hey, all I do is work here. I get no respect. Ain't no business like show business.
That's gotta be his fucking spirit animal. Llamas? That's the best, like, most Marco move.
That's him.
I'm so proud of him for that.
That's our boy. That's our boy.
That's my boy.
And Rachel and Cassie have to deal with this really shitty hairdresser.
Oh yeah,
named,
she's so rude.
Kai or something. And she's like constantly going on about how shit Rachel's hair is. And then all Cassie has to say is like, look, Tom Cruise and Kevin Costner. And she's just, where?
Like, she's so shallow. Like, a celebrity? What?
What? Because the thing is that this hairdresser is like yanking Rachel's hair, and it's like, your fucking hair sucks. So Rachel's getting mad and starts morphing wolf. Oh, so they figure out that her allergy, she morphs when she experiences strong emotions, like lust. Or more typical for Rachel, anger.
Okay, we're going to get into this in the discussion, but like the morphing and allergy shit in this book is the strongest fucking metaphor for like emerging sexuality that I've ever read in a YA novel in my entire life.
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
No.
It's very worrying that you think emergent sexuality can be eventually burped out in a bathroom.
Everyone's emerging sexuality is burped
Y'all ever
out
heard
in
of
the
a
form
fucking
of a 12-foot
metaphor?
croc.
Jesus Christ.
So, a bunch of shit happens. Marco Llama goes rogue.
Jeremy Jason McCole shows up on...
Stop. Fucking stop saying his whole name, please.
No! Mikael! We have to say it.
It's the worst part of the whole book.
His name is Jeremy Jason McCole, and he's gonna join the sharing. Jeremy Jason McCole.
At this point,
Rachel starts to do the Harris illness. She starts to feel it.
Yeah, and she runs to the bathroom saying she's gonna blow chunks. Oh, she bites Jeremy.
As a human, she gets like the croc mind and shakes her butt and bites Jeremy on the arm.
And then bites Marco as a llama. And then just like runs to the bathroom and starts getting this mad hunchback. And this is actually a really cool visual. I really like this. Literally grows a crocodile out of herself.
And she's getting mad. And as she's getting mad, because she still has the allergy, like she starts morphing bear. And that's the only way she can survive. So like her human head is turning into a bear while at the back of her neck, this crocodile snout starts writhing and snapping, and it's just horrifying, and I love the image.
It so much.
It's so good in this tiny bathroom.
Cool.
That, like, somebody is, like, shitting their pants outside and is trying to get in, and it's just like, I'm so sorry, I need a shit! And then they see this crocodile gator monstrosity, and, like, probably diarrhea away.
I'm sorry, I need to shit! I'm sorry, I just shit myself!
It makes you wonder why they didn't pick this scene for the inside cover of the book, because the inside cover of the book is this like fucking terrible.
It's this boring, super short, super stubby crocodile in a pond,
and it's so clearly like copy pasted into
it's
the
picture
of an alligator just standing somewhere. crocodile just standing on land, superimposed into a pond.
See, and I was wondering if that was like the cross section of the pond and it was underwater and that was the water line. Like that's how
That's what
bad
I
this
thought.
image is.
I thought it
It's
was
so
underwater.
bad.
Yeah, it's
It should have been the whole like bear crocodile thing. So the crocodile gets burped and it's a live croc.
Yeah,
And Rachel's a bear.
Rachel is trying to fight it, and they get out onto the studio, and nobody runs away. It establishes that like the hosts are just like still sitting there.
Well, one of them is it's like a male and female host. So the male host runs away and is screaming like, "Get a stapler!" While the female host is just like, "Can we get an intern to deal with this crocodile?"
It's the most like caricature-ish like display of like Hollywood buffoonery.
I love it.
Like,
Oh my
it's
God.
just so bad.
I love it.
K.A. Applegate definitely like was like, I'm gonna be an actor, and then just got chewed up and spit out by the Hollywood system.
So she turned
Rough.
to writing sci-fi
Yeah.
children's books.
Just so in book 12 of her 58-part series, she could take a swipe at the Hollywood machine.
So, so Jeremy Jason is on there and he's just about to talk about the sharing when all this shit happens. It's assumed at this point that he is under your control.
Yeah.
Which we find out when, like, the croc gets towards him and the lights are flashing.
Yeah.
And Marco bites through the lights and then the croc is on Jeremy Jason McCole and then you see there's a worm wriggling out of
A
Jeremy
gray
Jason
slug comes out of his
McCole's
ear.
and they're looking for the yerk and then
And
Rachel
then the lights go out.
steps on something.
Yeah, no. And then the lights go out, Axe jumps out and kills the crocodile himself. Then Rachel squishes the yerk,
She
and they
feels
all
it.
escape.
They all escape. And then she's trying to find a place to, like, demorph. And she demorphs and is looking around. It's like, fuck, I'm only in my morphing costume. I can't go on to TV in leotard. And she hears her voice. And Cassie has morphed Rachel.
And is
doing
talking
the
to-
interview and is talking to somebody.
Jeremy
who-
Jason McCole's producer.
Yeah, who was just like...
Who?
Jeremy Jason McCole's producer.
Come
Fuck
on,
that guy.
Mikael.
Keep up.
His name is Jeremy Jason McCole, and he's like
This is
really
producer.
cute. Yeah, but then he also has a producer who's not cute. So the producer is like grilling Cassie as Rachel, and then it's just like as she leaves, the producer hisses "and delight"
To try to get a reaction out of Cassie Rachel.
And Cassie
this is so
Rachel just says, "Yeah, and delight would be helpful too."
So good.
Boom goes dynamite. Cassie is the best.
The worst part is that I don't think she would have said that if this was a Cassie book.
No. Yeah.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah.
She does say something weird when she meets up with Rachel. She's like, "I'm having problems with your weird, dumb brain. It keeps making me want to do stupid shit." Which is an interesting fan theory we'll get to in a second.
Oh yeah, I like my theory better.
At the end of the book, they talk about how Jeremy Jason McCole, last they've heard of him, he's hiding in Uzbekistan.
Yeah. And it's like, and they assume that's the truth. They're like, oh, phew, he used his money and fame to run away. No, Visor 3 ate him.
He did.
Visor 3's like, you're of no use to me anymore, and hentai fuck
that's
beasted
that's
him.
not his voice.
Oh, right.
You are of no use to me anymore, Jeremy Jason McCole.
Nah. That voice is not happening for this whole series. There's no fucking way.
The hentai fuck beast from book 1. Animorphs has canon, y'all.
Animorphs is canon, y'all.
Yeah, Jeremy Jason McCole is dead. He's
He's
a corpse.
definitely not alive.
No.
Well, didn't
He's
he get
definitely
his
not
fucking
alive.
like arm bit by a croc?
I think
I don't think the croc actually got him.
the description I got was that like the croc was about to get him, the yerk
I think he was
ran
just
away,
close.
and then Axe killed it without injuring Jeremy Jason McCole.
I think it was
Also,
close. He
this
probably
is
got
like-
some scratches, but
This is 2 books almost in a row, so I'm thinking number 10, but like where there's like the fucking coolest, most violent shit happens, and the author is like, it's just somebody just took care of it. But it's like, holy shit, please describe Axe like slicing open the back of a crocodile from tip
3
to tip.
slashes.
that's what all it took was 3 slashes through the croc. They do describe it, but Mikael, Axe's tail blade was so fast and so powerful.
Rachel didn't see it.
It was
Yeah,
just
but she saw the croc after.
It was a croc alive and then a croc dead.
I can't tell if that was supposed to be a joke or if what
No, I am never joking when it comes to Animorphs. You know me by this point.
True.
You know me by this point.
All right. That's pretty much the end of the story.
So that's the whole thing.
Oh, and then more Marco Rachel OTP stuff. OTP alerts. Marco is busting Rachel's balls when they're watching TV. Watching the footage, what little footage of the interview there was, and then they're like, this sucks. Change it to Baywatch. And the girls are like, not Baywatch. And then Marco's like, I have the remote, I choose. And then he changed it to Xena Warrior Princess.
Okay,
and Rachel's
seriously.
Yeah.
Fucking okay. Marco and Rachel. It's so obvious that they like each other.
Oh, yeah. Like,
also,
come on.
Okay.
When Rachel talks about Tobias in this book, it's so, like, offhand and so, like, oh, and Tobias was there. Oh, and Tobias was, like, sitting on... I opened the window because sometimes Tobias comes by, but he didn't this time.
I feel like unconsciously or not, K.A. Applegate started realizing I cannot write convincing dialogue to sell the romance of this girl and this hawk.
Just you wait. Their name is Rachayas and they're my OTP.
Oh, Rachayas, that's terrible.
Rachayas, my OTP.
And I prefer
They're the perfect couple there for me.
Tobachel is good.
Tobachel is so much better.
No. The best one is Cassie Jake. You know what they call that?
Cake?
I mean, it's too obvious.
So the fan theory that I talked about, this is just something I recently read on Tumblr, was somebody talking about how Rachel reads as having ADHD with the super impulsivity, the super irritability, and they use this book as an example about how before she even knows it, she's jumped into the crocodile pit. She's like, well, fuck, this was a bad idea, but I'm here now, might as well acquire a croc and save the day.
And Cassie says, your brain is weird.
Yeah, and then Cassie says, your brain is weird, so I'm like, ooh, maybe ADHD.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that that's not possible, because obviously it is possible. There's a lot of symptoms here, like her inability to focus at times on anything except one thing, but also
just before you say that, I want to say that also I think it's valid for fans to read what they want in characters if it's something that they want to see. But then here comes Mikael's thing to shit all over my thing.
Okay. The thing that really tipped me off about my theory is when she's looking at pictures of this dude online and then has an allergic reaction. My theory is this whole book is like, in a non-explicit way, the author is trying to replace the stages of or not stages, but elements of hitting puberty with this allergic reaction / morphing thing, because morphing already is a metaphor for puberty. We don't even have to get into that. That's obvious, right?
What, just because you're going through physical changes and you're sprouting hair in different places?
Yeah. Because that's literally the metaphor. Yeah.
I see it.
But okay, let's get real. She might have had an orgasm when she was looking at the pictures of JJ.
She didn't have an orgasm. You can't just orgasm looking at pictures. She was definitely getting turned on. I will not fault you that.
They didn't describe Axe cutting open the alligator. They're sure as hell not going to describe her putting her hands down her pants. I'm not saying she did, and I'm not ascribing anything. What I'm saying is maybe an easier way to understand it is to have a violent reaction related to morphing. For the reader, I mean, okay. I know she's getting turned on. The reason why I want to say she wasn't having an orgasm was also, what's the heightened version of her being angry? That she literally has a heart attack because she's so mad or something? I feel like it's as soon as her emotions get strong enough. I feel like maybe she was just about to start wanking it when she morphed Croc. And that's why her hand. What difference does it make? That's why her hand going scaly was so upsetting. Because she was. Don't you see the hand
about
going scaly and the Judeo-Christian masturbation is a sin? it's just so obvious. Like the masturbation thing.
Yeah, no, that's one way to read it, yeah.
Because, like, the idea that you get warts all over your hand if you masturbate.
I heard
First
hair.
thing What's
yeah,
that?
you get hairy palms. That's
Hairy
what I heard.
palms was mine.
But that's just if you jerk
Yeah.
a penis. Everyone knows that girls don't masturbate.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm just saying, read it again, listeners. If you haven't read it in a while, read it again with that in mind.
Imagine a
12-year-old
12-year-old girl jerking off to
masturbating.
Jeremy Jason
That's
McCole.
not what I'm saying. I'm not saying think about her masturbating. I'm saying read all this allergic reaction stuff and the moments that it comes in as a metaphor for, like, budding sexuality, and you'll see that I'm not totally off base with it. Anyways, Brayden,
ways.
now that we've just very recently finished the extremely long-winded plot, you can continue talking by telling us your predictions.
All right. So in Animorphs number 13, The Change, which explores again our friend Tobias.
I love how that's how you say his name, just because of episode 1. It's so good.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm looking at the inside cover, and it shows Tobias human at night sitting on a bed being leered at by a red-tailed hawk.
Oh,
The change, with a scene of him.
and the tagline
Looking at
is
a
called, or the tagline reads, "Be afraid."
Also, I don't think that's a red-tailed hawk, because the tail's not even brown.
Oh, it's not. I feel like they just fucked up and used
That's a
any kind of
peregrine
hawk.
falcon. I assumed.
I don't even remember, honestly. But
Maybe-
anyways.
I know exactly, but I'm not gonna say a thing.
I have a theory. Tobias is going to, perhaps through Ellamist tomfoolery, perhaps through other science fantasy means, is going to gain an opportunity to go back. And he's going to be able to maybe fix the situation that turned him into a hawk, maybe stop them from ever even finding their Animorphs powers. And he is going to take that opportunity and learn why he shouldn't have, and then be able to reverse it, or go through a situation where he's thinking about it, where he decides not to do it. And that's my theory for the change.
I'm so excited, y'all. Tobias books are consistently up there in my favorites. And
Yeah.
this is the first one we've had since number 3 where he wanted to bone a lady hawk. So,
Also, people love this book, like, more than almost any other book
because
that I've
it's so
seen.
good.
It's pretty good. It's definitely not my favorite, but we all know that I'm not, like, a giant Tobias fan, so
No.
whatever. I get why people are. But now I'm curious to see what you think, Brayden, when you do read the book, about your predictions.
I understand.
Okay. 2 weeks from now, in our Live from the Gardens episode about Animorphs number 12, The Reaction, we'll be talking about the details of the croc and the llama, arguably the two main morphs from that book.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
we're
like the
skipping-
llama was like in the background the whole time.
No argument at all.
If you rewatch the episode of book 12, he's just there out of focus, like helping other characters along their way,
Spitting.
like delivering a baby and stuff.
He's like, what's that one movie? Amelie?
Hello, I am Amelie.
No, that's another podcast joke.
I cook an egg with a spoon.
Obviously, we're skipping next week because it's Christmas Day, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be podcasting on Christmas Day. But so this Live from the Gardens will be out January 1st. And then after that, we're going to be talking about Animorphs number 13, The Change, and that'll be January 8th of 2018. For
Best way
now,
to ring in the new year is to listen to Animorphs.
big
All I
time.
gotta say.
For now, my name is Mikael, the host.
I am Tessa, the expert.
And I'm Brayden, the slipperiest crocodile you ever did grab.
And see you later, alligators.
in a while.
Oh, she was holding on to that one. She was holding on to that one. And this has been Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. If you're looking for more Animorphs content, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search for Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles.
Good news, everyone! Hello, and welcome to Good News, everyone, the weekly news podcast where all the news is good news. I'm Tessa.
And I'm Marina. On Good News, everyone, we talk about our week.
However good or good adjacent it was.
And we talk about the current events happening in the world.
But only the good ones.
Or good adjacent.
There's a lot of good adjacent.
The world's a literal dumpster fire.
Anyway, so sit back,
relax,
and enjoy some good news.
Available on collectivelegacy.org or wherever you download podcasts.
Bye! That sounded so good.
Brought to you by
Collective Legacy,
a podcast network.